Good afternoon. Today I would like to talk to you about teacher tenure. Tenure has been described by many as total job security. However, it is not guaranteed for life. In 2007, 2.1% of teachers, including those with tenure, were fired for just causes. Tenure was developed as a safeguard against discrimination on race, sex, gender, age, religion, or handicap. It provides teachers with a basic human right, the right to due process before firing. Since education first arose, teachers have been fired for personal, political, or other non-work related reasons. According to Britannica, before tenure, teachers could be dismissed when a new political party took over or a principal wanted to make room for his friends. Britannica goes on to explain that teachers may be fired solely to replace them with cheaper, less experienced alternatives. There are those who claim tenure only leads to complacency in teachers. However, not all tenured teachers become complacent, and the good of tenure definitely outweighs the bad. The advantages of teacher tenure clearly outweigh the disadvantages. Although some may say teacher tenure allows for complacency, it gives teachers protection from unjust firing. The main reason tenure was developed in 1909 was not a way for unions to protect incompetent members. It was designed as a safeguard that protects teachers from unfair firing and is earned after several years of service. It is not just handed out to whoever wants it. Tenure grants teachers the right to due process before firing. It is truly an American virtue, ingrained within the Bill of Rights. Teachers without tenure experience little of the benefits of having a secure job. 70% of teachers hired are now contingent, meaning they are hired under yearly contracts, not knowing if they will have a job next term. Furthermore, contingent teachers only have small say in their curriculum. An article by Interfolio says one of the major benefits of achieving tenure from an institution of higher education is the job security that results from earning the status. While many staff members are hired and employed on an annual basis, tenured faculty maintain employment for an extended period of time, potentially until they retire. Hence, contrary to what critics have to say, tenure does not guarantee a job for life. Teachers typically have to wait 3 years before being granted tenure. Brian Smith, a superintendent at the Columbus School District in Kansas, also says, "You usually see complacency early in teachers." He then goes on to state how it is not mandatory to give someone tenure. In his words, you don't tenure someone you have doubts about. However, even with tenured teachers can be fired for incompetence, immoral conduct, violation of school policies, and negligence. Difference being, when teachers are fired, they receive a fair trial to make sure they are being fired for one of the reasons previously stated. This, along with the other benefits of tenure, provide job security to the people who will be instructing future generations. However, with this new contingent teaching program spreading through the country, less and less schools are offering the job security provided by tenure. A movement, however, for increasing job security for fast food workers arose early 2019. This movement pushed to pass a law that would grant fast food workers protection from being fired without a good reason. This is almost identical to tenure. The only difference is there is no waiting period like tenure has. However, those working in fast food restaurants do not have this trial period. This means anyone and everyone working in fast food restaurants are getting a form of tenure. This means that those working to provide comforts of life are being given more job security than those instructing future generations. Another benefit to tenure is the freedom to teach controversial subjects and to teach in the way that best suits teachers, their material, and their students. Teachers throughout the 1900s have been told what they may and may not teach. The Scopes trial in the mid-1920s was a great example of this. In this trial, John Scopes was put on trial due to teaching Darwin's theory of evolution. He was found guilty and fined $100. This highlights the need to protect the ability of teachers to educate students in controversial matters. Another benefit of a free classroom is the ability for teachers to choose the teaching method that best suits their students. This means that non-tenured teachers are often unable to choose their curriculum. In Floretta Duke McKenzie's article, The Yellow Brick Road of Education, she explains how the Poedia proposal, which says all students have the same hunger for learning, provides educators with a false hope, which causes them to fall back on comfortable, yet outdated teaching methods. This shows the benefits of teaching controversial subjects. Freedom of speech is one of the founding principles for the United States Constitution. However, this does not protect teachers from powerful parents or board members who decide a subject or book is too controversial to be taught in school. An English teacher, for example, needs a protection provided by tenure if he or she wishes to assign a controversial yet educational book, such as Huckleberry Finn or The Grapes of Wrath. The same would go for a history teacher who wants to inform students of controversial times in history, or especially a science teacher teaching countless controversial topics such as evolutionary biology, etc. The list goes on. Richard Kohlenberg, author of Tenure at American Federation of Teachers, writes, "The importance of academic freedom for K through 12 teachers is sometimes underestimated." And he is not the only person who thinks this. David McGrath, a teacher at Edison State College, says that tenure ensures academic freedom to teach important concepts such as evolution and classic texts such as Huckleberry Finn, To Kill a Mockingbird, or Catcher in the Rye, all of which have been banned from schools. As well as freedom to teach controversial subjects, tenure also provides teachers the freedom to choose their method of teaching. Teachers need protection from outside sources telling them how to do their job, as they feel major amounts of pressure from board members, parents, and principals. Brian Smith explains, "I think tenure, could because it might encourage teachers to take more risks and think outside the box. Teachers, in a way, have to answer to hundreds of different bosses, and since everyone has attended school, they all feel qualified to tell teachers how to teach." Richard Kohlenberg again writes, "They would never tell a surgeon or an auto mechanic what to do." Having to answer to hundreds of different people, sometimes all having vastly different opinions, can be stressful. Barbara Kerr, the former California Teachers Association president, says, "Teachers are afraid to try new, innovative things if they are afraid of losing their jobs." Another benefit of tenure is connecting all students with better education. No matter their family income, low-income students often have the least experienced teachers. Critics of tenure argue that the new contingent teaching model is better for students. However, this is not correct. Research has shown that the contingent teaching model does little to improve a student's educational performance. It simply is not designed to support student learning, as contingent teachers have no room for professional development. Furthermore, job security for these teachers is less than satisfactory. A survey was conducted over workers in California, Missouri, and New York, and found that 90% of people thought it was illegal to fire someone based on personal dislike, and 80% thought it was illegal to fire someone and replace that person with someone willing to work for less. Those surveyed are incorrect. It is perfectly legal for a teacher to be fired only because someone is willing to be paid less. Today, teaching in a town with high poverty rate would be far too risky for most teachers. Low-income students, on average, perform worse academically than their high-income counterparts, as they have more to deal with outside of school than the middle and upper-class students. This being said, it is unlikely that any teacher will want to teach at these schools, as the students' poor test grade could end their employment with no way back. Tenure also helps connect students with better education, as it encourages schools to take more time when making hiring decisions, as tenured teachers can be difficult to remove. Mr. Smith, superintendent at Columbus High School, explains, "If one district offered tenure and a neighboring district doesn't, it might encourage better quality teachers to apply to the district that offers tenure. Furthermore, tenure inspired administrators to fire underperforming teachers before they achieve tenure. Tenure can also provide teachers with increased job security, which allows them to work more effectively, as they no longer have to worry about job loss. According to Brian Smith, I think the main benefit of tenure would be to protect a teacher from being terminated for an unjust cause. One example would be a coach who doesn't play a superintendent's child in basketball. It might be possible that the superintendent would try to fire the coach from his or her teaching job. He later states, it might also improve morale, which would also improve educational outcomes. They can then focus their time and energy on providing a quality education to their students. Along with this, tenure would also serve to attract more teachers to the profession, as they would be attracted to the thought of a secure and stable job. It is also unfair for schools to fire teachers for the sole reason that they found another who will work for less. In recent years, the threat of firing has increased due to budget cuts, and schools would rather fire expensive, yet experienced teachers to make room for younger, less experienced teachers who are willing to work for less. In conclusion, tenure allows teachers a basic human right, protection from unfair firing, not, as critics say, a 100% secure job. Tenure provides a protected work environment. It allows teachers to choose what their curriculum says, unlike the new contingent teaching model. Tenure gives teachers a way to know their job is secure. It grants them a right ingrained in the Bill of Rights. Tenure also grants teachers the ability to teach controversial subjects. This may be necessary for their classroom, as it allows teachers to inspire creativity in their students. Tenure also allows teachers to find new, innovative ways to teach, since they do not have principals and parents bearing down their necks. Tenure also helps by connecting low-income students with good teachers. Teachers may be hesitant to teach low-income students as they may be fired due to the students' low performance, jeopardizing their job. This is the purpose of tenure, not to give lazy teachers a way to get paid for nothing. Tenure brings students together. It helps blur the lines between low, middle, and upper class. Tenure also allows teachers to teach without fear. It allows teachers to provide a quality education to their students without parents compromising their job. Thank you.